Hi there, I'm Danny Henderson. Welcome back to my full disclosure channel. I'm so thrilled today to bring this lineup in the screen to you. First of all, we have the one, the only Laura Eisenhower. How are you, Laura?
Doing great. It's wonderful to be here with you, Danny and JP and Chris.
It's so good to have you, Laura. It's been a while since you and I played on my channel. So glad to have you back. And you got your channel back yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, last week. Very
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah,
See all
it's
these channels
amazing.
coming back. Yeah.
Amazing. David Icke just got his channel back too. So good things are happening in the field of disclosure. So brilliant. I'll come back to you in a minute, Laura. And JP, how are you, my love?
Hey, how you guys doing? It's a pleasure to be here. Exciting times. Much love. Thank you for being here. Yeah.
Yeah, good to have you.
Let's speak truth.
Yeah, let's always speak truth, absolutely. And unify and unite, always, always. Those of us on the front lines here bringing disclosure, it's our role to keep moving forward and shoulder to shoulder as we go. And we thank you for your service, JP. I know that you're still working with the American military. It's so thrilling hearing your on and off planet excursions, and we can get more into that as we go through this broadcast. And the star of the round table is the one and only Chris Laterreur. Hello, Chris.
Thanks for everybody for being here for me. That's cool. Hopefully we can debunk all this the Montauk legends and what's real and what's not. So like uh,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm here
it's
for that.
definitely, and we're here for you, and in each, Laura and JP and I are here for you, and they were at Montauk, which is training ground. It was called Camp Hero. Why don't you, Chris, actually give us a synopsis? I know it's not easy to do a synopsis, but those that have never heard of Montauk or Stranger Things, which is the TV show you're advertising behind you, why don't you give us a synopsis of what you want to share today? What happened to you?
Okay, well, I was part of a MK Ultra project called the Monarch Project, and I was sent to Camp Hero, which is like a military base disguised as a city, and yeah, an old World War II with there's tunnels under it, and they were keeping us as we were kids there between 8 and 12, 13 maybe, and they were keeping us in cage uh, like really the treatment there were like really awful. Like it was MK Ultra sub project, but really like hidden under like in tunnels, and also like to give an idea of what it was like. So
Yeah, and I know it's not easy to to talk about it, Chris, and you have to learn to hold composure because the things that you've gone through are still upsetting. There's a lot of people that don't believe your story, which becomes very frustrating.
yeah,
So all you can do is just hold composure, but get the information out. The details of the torture that you and other little boys went through is beyond abhorrent, and it's just unthinkable. And you were taken during school at 6 years old and put into programs, tortured. You saw other children being unalived, and it's all the horrors that we've heard about. What I found fascinating was when you and I were meeting and interviewing together, Laura and JP and Brad Olson and others were on an excursion to Camp Hero. So we're going to show and share some of that footage here. Here we go.
What? Okay, we're here at Camp Hero at the very end tip of Long Island, and this is near the town of Montauk. It's a very ancient site. There are Indian burial mounds here, and there are also a lot of myths and legends, especially what happened here at
Can you hear it clearly, everyone?
yeah.
Yep.
Yes? Okay, good. Just checking.
Camp Hero, because we're getting up about as close as you can get to this area where a lot of experiments took place. And I'll give everybody a little update on that in just a second.
Well,
This military base was active between 1942 and 1982.
Yeah. Why
nice.
don't you tell them a few things, Laura?
Well, Philadelphia experiment. Man, Montauk is known for time travel experiments, abduction, mind control.
all sorts of crazy things, including a time loop that might still be active, that might never really shut down. So that's something I want to explore.
Look, there's an opening over here. You want to check it out?
Let's do it.
All right. What's up, everybody? JP here.
JP found a way in.
We got to be careful with ticks now. Okay, there's deer ticks. Okay. So, yeah, I'll stay out here. Hold on.
We are at Camp Hero at the very far tip of Long Island, very close to the town of Montauk. This is a very ancient site. There are Indian burial mounds, and it...
Okay, just going to pause it there for a moment. Chris, can you tell her, how does that make you feel seeing where you were taken? Is that where you were taken? And can you talk us through what we're looking at? Can't
You're
hear you.
muted.
Yeah, that's the place where they brought me. You don't really see the checker because like there's like pale and dark. It's like a weird like facing like the brick on the building. You don't really see it like the effect it gives, but yeah, like it's the building is really unique. Like you don't see many buildings like that, like with that kind of pattern. So checkermate kind of thing. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean checkmate? What do you mean?
Well, the finish of the building, like the main building, the tower building, is like a checkermate. Like it's like places is dark, some light. So like if you look at it from close, like it's a bit like a Damien flag or something like that, like
A, de
gray.
a demon flag, do you mean?
No, like checker.
Checkerboard.
Yeah, like those the flag, like the winning flags or checkermate or
The checkers flags that
yeah,
referees use, like when
yeah,
racing, when
that's it.
race is done.
So like it has a finish like this. The building, if you look at from close, like uh, you
Okay.
see, and that's something pretty unique to this building. I never saw any other buildings that were had that finish on it. So
Okay. And when you went underground, is that
yeah,
brown brick building with the radar on top, the receiver, is that the building that you would go into and go down, or is that the acid house
yeah.
that you spoke about?
No, no, that's the main building where the chair was in the basement. So the chair was in this big building with the radar on it, and the main chair was probably 30 feet from the red elevator in the basement.
From the red elevator in the basement. Let's watch a
Yeah,
bit more so then we can come back and we can discuss more. All right? You doing okay, Chris? I know it can't be easy
yeah,
seeing where you were taken as a child. I just want to check on
yeah,
you.
yeah.
You good? Okay. Sorry, I had it teed up. Here we go. Let me just go back here a bit. There.
The police just do not enter building. Knock on this to see. Oh, seems hollow. So hey, hot. Testing. One. Yeah. Something behind here. Interesting. So this would be the underground entrance, you know?
JP located the entrance to the underground base where there is a blast-proof door. I mean, obviously, this could withstand aerial bombardment. but I've seen this all over in military bases that they have these reinforced concrete entrances. They're all around the.
So there is an entrance here. Okay. But let's keep our distance. Let's obey the law and make sure nothing is broken. Okay? If you're not allowed to get in and you're not invited to go in, do not go in these places. Okay?
Well, a lot of us feel a sense of gloom or pain and suffering. It's a very weird feeling. And of course, there were people that were captured here, that were part of the programs, that were forced to be in cages. And we think right here, maybe one of the barracks, one of the places where some of the Montauk boys might have been kept and stored. And we could see when we were driving in that the woods here, it's a thicket, it's very dense forest. It would be very difficult to escape. And the town is several miles away, so good luck with that. I think once you're here and you're captured, you're not getting out until they want to let you out.
Yeah.
Things that were happening. So
Oh, wow.
that's
Thank you,
what it
Mike.
looks like to me. It looks like a barracks or something, a temporary place where people hid. And, you know, the steel, you don't need to reinforce something like this with steel walls. So I don't know. You could just build this out of concrete blocks and it would be fine as a structure. If this was a guest house, if this was this almost looks like a hot dog stand or something. But you don't need steel walls for that, right? You just need the basic concrete blocks.
Wow.
So it has some purpose. I'm not sure what it was, but that would serve as a way to create a Faraday cage environment.
Nice. Thank you. Look what we found here. Look how beautiful this is, everybody. You ready? Montauk Island or spot. Yeah, as you can see, there's cliffs all over the place, so it'll be hard to escape. Brad, you like this place?
Yeah, it's really interesting. One of the oldest lighthouses in the country. Oldest
Now,
lighthouse.
Danny, right there, from there on, it talks about the lighthouse and all that.
Okay.
But I think if you go, no, it's okay. Yeah.
I was trying to find the part where there was a satanic sign on the wall outside. Yeah, Laura, can you tell us about that and how that made you feel?
Yeah, well, there's a upside down pentagram, which is symbolic of the satanic inversion of the elementals, the ether going into the ground, and just inversion, reversal grid technology that created this, inversion of harvesting and siphoning souls and our creative imagination into a trajectory that serves the elite and not humanity, which has been corrected with the Venus transits and with this, shift time that we're in. But in a location like this, I mean, it's very haunting. I also saw help written on the wall. We zoomed in on that. And yeah, it's a very haunted area to witness. So it's, I know, I mean, Chris, what do you feel when you see that entrance area? Is that an entrance? I mean, what is that?
Yeah, like well, the big thing, like I went there through that I don't know if it's that one, but like through a field trip, like we went through those tunnel and like those floors were up, down, up, down, up, down, like but uh the other times I was going through hatches, like the nights I remember because we were always getting there at night in the middle of the night, and like we were parking the car, we're walking. I don't know, probably 50, 60 feet, something like that. And like there were a hatch, like underground, like all like rebars that were probably 30 feet, like kind of square. And like we were going all like one after the other in there. And from there, we're getting undressed and like giving all our clothes. There were, I remember like one time we got there and like when we were undressed and Preston put those clothes in a half barrel exactly like on the fourth floor in the building. There's a image somewhere like somebody took. I think it's Brian Mimic, uh, and it's like a half barrel. I think it's an electromagnetic device, but there's a second one of those in the tunnels and like we Preston all put our clothes in it like in that on that thing it was like on a podium and the stacks of clothes there and after you walked us to the cage and so yeah that's the
So are you saying that?
and like the people that say it was cages like cage no it was like a fence section that were like kind of a bit raised, and like some had like stuff in it, some and like they were putting like panels of fencing in front of us, and like somebody was checking for us if like we were trying to talk or like trying to get out, and like if you wanted to try to escape, forget this, like they no no that's
Now
not
you mentioned the
Well,
name
Danny,
Preston. Yes.
in 17 minutes and 17 seconds in that YouTube video, we actually connected with a person that actually went inside the Montauk Tower.
Well, this was Camp Hero.
Camp Hero,
Yeah.
the satellite, huh? Look at that. And you said you found an elevator, right?
Yeah, so it was like an elevator shaft where like it was like the elevator car was halfway down a floor and there was like filing cabinets and stuff stuffed into it. So yeah.
Wow, look at
you
that.
guys see if it's rammed.
Yeah. Yeah, that is something.
What did you say?
Did you guys see like the elevator, like the red elevator? Like, cause it should be rammed, cause like something happened in that elevator, like when
Yeah.
so
He said
that
the guy that went there and did the investigation going there, he said the elevator was halfway down and it was stuck with cabinets.
okay.
Like if somebody was trying to stop the elevator to go down. So
Uh,
you could feel like Laura Eisenhower said, like the whole place, you could feel the hairs go up. You see satanic symbols, not in just in one spot. You seen them like everywhere we went, we saw these symbols. And it just feels really eerie. Like if evilness still, you can still feel the
electromagnetism,
evilness in the area.
electromagnetism of this, the experiment, like they were mixing and I think a lot of the ghosts, like not the ghosts, but like the
Spirits.
evil was coming from that, like the electromagnetism that they were mixing to the experiment. So that's my take, but like I'm not an expert in this. Like I was just the, the subject used, but yeah, like
And there were ETs down there, right?
I didn't see any ETs there. Like me, they brought me to underground Bagotville Air Force Base in Canada. It's the Canadian Air Force Base. There's a big dump base there, and like in the first sections of tunnels, like the big doors are white and like with black numbers. And after you change of kind of spot in those tunnels, and like you go into a section where those big doors are gray and the numbers are yellow, and that's like I don't know, like the finish of the place is not the same. Like it's more rocky. It's more like than like the white and black sections. Like I think it's more for civilians and like yeah. So like anyway, that's what I remember of those.
If we analyze, I've been to these underground bases. Underground bases don't have no restriction of how far north or how far south. So there is some bases in New York that are connected to underground through Canada, underground bases through Canada. So there's no, how can I say, no, there's no borders underground on these underground bases. So all the children's from Canada or all the children's from the United States, Mexico, even in Texas, there's some bases that connect underground through Mexico, and it keeps going down. These underground bases they keep connecting to all the other countries, and it stops around Panama, around there. But it goes as far, even Alaska has a base that connects to Russia underground, and it's under the ocean that it
Yeah,
connects. I don't know if you guys heard recently, Trump says, "Oh, we might build a bridge from Alaska to Russia, blah blah blah." We're trying to cut some deals, but there is a connection already underground, and all these bases. Montauk is the whole Manhattan. It goes under the ocean through Maine and up Canada and Tibet, that area over there. So it doesn't cross under New York, but it goes from Montauk, it goes under the Atlantic through Maine or and through uh other states and into Canada. It's insane. These bases are huge underground.
Mhm.
Huge.
yeah. They do
Yes.
40 miles of tunnels per day per machine. So like that gives you an idea of like the Swiss cheese that we're dealing with under our feet. So like it's they don't have just one machine. They have a few that are running like full time. So like yeah, they have a lot of like the money of our tax is not going here up there. Like it's it's down there that it's invested. Like
Mhm.
They're building down.
sorry,
Yeah,
but that's the
miles.
facts. Yeah.
Chris, you mentioned the name Preston Nichols, was it? Preston Nichols? I
Yeah.
always want to say Daniels, I'm sorry. A lot of people watching have never heard this name. Can you please tell us who this is?
He was the technician that was like hooking me up on the chair. Like every time I was going to Montauk, I was dealing with him. That was like hooking me up to the chair, like putting my hat, all the little sensors everywhere, and like the catheter. And he was like really like the technical guy of the chair. Like he wasn't the guy that was torturing us or like he was like really like a kind of a geek, like with a white vest and like doing the all the adjusting the portal in front of us, like like installing that that machine that was like making like the holograms of like the what we thought. So like that's he was like bringing the little table next to us, like on the chair, and like at some point he brought it in front, like a bit on the left, because like there were a pole in that little table there, and something was broken, so we had to like install the projector with three lights on bungee cords on a pipe, like that was like next to the chair kind of thing, and like lining up with the other little box on the top shelf that had a light that was coming out, and like that's where like
Mhm.
the lights were meeting and like things were appearing like so.
Yeah, and details are really important, of course, because there are people that, say they're also Preston Daniels or they're also Cameron Duncan, Duncan Cameron, which was the name that you were given as
Yeah.
on that project. When you talk about the chair, those that don't know, what do you mean? What chair or chairs, and where were they from?
That's the Montauk chair. The chair by itself, I think, was a human construction. Like it was stainless metal. It's really the technology that they were using on it, and mixed with, and it was a mix of technology. But like to be able to read like what we were thinking about and like reproduce it as a hologram, like in light, like that was pretty neat. And the there were a portal that like a bit like Stargate, like the same kind of watery finish, okay, but purple, but no like whoosh, like when you like it was like astral projection that we were leaving through it. So we were sitting on the chair. We had the hat, a gas mask also that was we were breathing vapor in it. Um, Vapors of a flower that they just discovered. It was a ghost orchid found in the Everglades. It's a floating flower. So that was like what we were breathing in the mask. And yeah, they were adjusting a portal, like that purple portal in front of us. And like as soon as you were like putting your eyes on it and looking at it, it was kind of like pulling you out of your body, super easy to go astral project, like because usually there's kind of a delay and all, but like it was almost instant, like it was pulling you in it. So that was the feeling of like that portal, what it was doing. So but yeah, we were going through astral projection, and like they were sending us through time, through space to map everything, and that was pretty much our use. Like,
Mhm, mhm. There's a lot of people that obviously have their understandings or their testimony or their stories on Montauk, and obviously we're all about bringing proof and evidence. The information you have behind you, those that come to my channel regularly will see that you and I have done several broadcasts together, but we haven't actually shown this evidence before. And we haven't had Laura Eisenhower with us or JP while we're going through this element of bringing your evidence. So I'm just going to pull up the documents. Here we are. So can you talk us through what we're looking at? So the Montauk Boys, Terror at Montauk, Last Moments of Camp Hero, and this was you in the chair. So just, and tell me where to stop as well, but this is the book that's available for people. And dedicating, why are you dedicating to Steve Thompson and Eric Plante or Plant?
well, yeah, Steve Thompson and Eric Panatier-Plante were two of the Montauk boys, and they didn't make it, that destroyed their life, and they got erased, and like that's why they're not erased. Like people know them, so
Bless you.
that's
This is a
we all got recruited at the same time, and yeah,
mhm.
so and that's like my sworn statement, that like everybody can, like, because the book is actually my sworn statement for the action class against the Allen Memorial Hospital, but like it can be used by anybody that has a case in court for MK Ultra, and that wants to compare, and like because like it's all like it's a legal document, and it can be used anywhere in the world, because like I was talking with commissioners, and commissioners, it's more provincial, and but that way where it's with a notary, it's like worldwide, so like it's recognized worldwide as a legal document. So that was the way to go for, because commissioners for each state, each province, and like that was nonsense. So that's yeah. The,
Recently signed. This is your sworn statement, and again, there's a list there of the projects, the mind control projects that children went through that you were part of, and the name we see everywhere and hear about everywhere is Michael Aquino.
yeah, I dealt with him during the main formation of the Monarch project. He was coming often at school, or through like SRA rituals, or like all kinds of. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are all people that helped me with the book and like to structure like because like I'm not a writer, like
Mhm.
far from this, but the story is so important, like because like there's so many legends and like it's not a story to build legends around. It's a story to expose like what happened, like and
Yeah.
use this like n- not like put some sugar coating on it and resell it, like like I don't know. So,
Well, it's actually far too serious, isn't it? Nobody's going to come forward with a sane mind and report on
yeah,
these atrocities on children. And like, is there anywhere here right now we should go in this book in particular that you want me to show?
that actually this is like a paper proof from like the government. And they messed up. They sent me this avis de cotisation, and this like everybody has one in Canada, and like you don't have those like lot number. Those are my. This is my CIA asset. My this is my credentials. Like so like. And they fucked up. They sent me this, and they called me, and they told me to destroy it. I just I escaped with that paper and like I made copies like yeah like
Hmm.
that
So
was
this is
something.
again physical evidence, a document that was sent to you by error, but actually gives your actual numbers and proof that you were
Yeah,
a CIA asset, right?
yeah,
Okay. Anything else here in particular that you know is coming up that you want me to go to?
yeah, that's when I escaped like because like um they all set us up like because I was starting to ask questions about the project in mid 30s like in 2010, and I asked questions about um some of the tests that were done at the Allen Memorial, and like my mom told me bullshit answer, but she went and told it to my handlers, and because like that was part of the deal. Like if we were asking question or talking about stuff or like so, um, she contacted them and like they didn't take any chance. They set us up me and my buddies that were in the group with me. Like we all got arrested with major charge, and yeah, they tried to kill us, like, because we were all doing good in life at that point and all, but yeah, like, we got replaced. So,
It's very, very
because
difficult to listen to your testimony. Laura, can you share with us your information, what you've heard and read and been told over the years? Because you've been researching information like this for so long, and there's so much that's mixed up. Can you share what you have knowledge of, my love?
Well, from what I've heard from people that claim to have experiences is that it wasn't shut down. These are individuals that I guess are claiming involvement, in the 80s or later. That I don't know how that all mixes in with the time travel aspect. I myself don't have direct memories or involvement in Montauk, but yeah, my research and the countless testimonies I've encountered, I've come to understand it as kind of like a nexus point, both symbolically and literally, for the darker experiments around mind control, time manipulation, and interdimensional technology, the use of the creative imagination in order to manifest things through the higher abilities of these targeted children. And so my work connects with sort of the larger picture of how human consciousness was fragmented and how timelines were manipulated in order to understand um, the weaponization of the human, and in order to disassociate to the point where they're being trained to play the role of their handlers potentially with some, and that breaking down that programming is to reclaim one's free will and one's capacity to make it impossible to be used anymore, and that is a huge part of the healing process that I've learned a lot about, working with clients and colleagues. And yeah, so I mean, I know it, connects also to Tesla's early work in electromagnetic frequency, and later evolved through, Project Paperclip into this MK Ultra and timeline manipulation experiments. So the weaponization of the Tesla technology as well, I've been researching and studying. So I don't see it as an isolated project, more of a convergence of a lot of different hidden agendas to study how consciousness interacts with time. And if you can weaponize the psychic and multidimensional abilities, then you can manipulate time in the favor of, a control agenda that's not organic. So that just reminds us of how powerful we are when we are able to connect with our own dreams and visions and intent to focus it into how we're going to manifest the future. And in a lot of this coming to the surface, we can see how the psyops and false flags that are beamed at us through media and how the social engineering projects have shaped the human mind to accept certain engineered realities. Understanding these projects can help us to get to the root of where this stems from. And that's sort of my intent and my hope to understand more fully as I get to know people like Chris and how I'm connecting the dots with the things that I've discovered along the way.
Mm-hmm. Chris, it's very difficult for people that, heard about the Montauk, testimonies and met people from the past. And obviously, I'm in full support of you and helping you to air your information out, because I wasn't there, I don't know. But everyone has to have an ability to get their voice out, tell their story, and share their information. So there are people that say Duncan Cameron, the other name you were given alongside Chris Laterreur in your school was this, but on the projects you were named Duncan Cameron. But there's another man that was also claiming to have that name, who has since passed away. Do you think it's possible that certain children with certain gifts that went through the projects were given the name Duncan Cameron or Steve Plant? Or do you think that's possible? The name was used over and over again for different children, the same name?
Yeah, that was my take at first, because like uh like like I was seeing a guy like saying that it was him and all, and but like at some point, like those memories came back of the actual event. So like there weren't no, and like I had the memory of like when we were practicing in the car going to Montauk, okay, because like I had a little blue badge with like yellow bananas kind of thing on it, like from Chemical Corps, from a X-ray day that I had, and they gave me that, and they were always giving me the new badge that they were getting, and like I had all those badge and all, like I lost everything when they raised me, but yeah, like I had that batch, and in French it's a macaron, and like Cameron macaron was similar, and we stopped at Dunkin' Donut to grab like Michel. That was the last kid we were picking up, going to Montauk, and like he gave us like LSD, our little lunch and all, and like our names to practice to go, because we knew that place was gonna be hard. We knew we could be interrogated. We had to give those alias names. Like we were all French. So we had English names like Steve Thompson. Like his name was Pedro de Montoya, and like I don't remember the other two, like Stuart and like Michel alias. But like me and Steve were always paired up together, and like so I have the memory of that, because I was trying to like memorize the fucking name, and like I was just messing up Dunkin' Donut, and like everybody was laughing in the car. At some point, the handlers shut up, sleep, because like we're 6 hours of that. Like, are we there yet? Almost. Like,
Mm,
so yeah, that was
yeah,
yeah,
it's
the
easy when
memories I have.
Yeah, it's easy for people to kind of criticize your story because they say, hang on, Duncan Cameron was, you know, 60, 70, 80 years old. Like you're only 50. Like make that make sense. But, you know, in your
Yeah,
experience, you were given that name, you know, so there's something missing here,
yeah.
whether it's time, technology, whether you were all given the same name. So, but JP, let me come to you. In your army experience, and you've been through so many different experiences on and off planet with the American military, have you heard of anything relating to these programs? Like, what is your knowledge on these events?
I'm sure they give people different names, like a Bob Dole or you know, Charlie, or depending on the projects they're in. I have heard, uh, like in Eglin, I brought Laura Eisenhower there. Uh, I showed her the base and everything. I can't wait for you to come down, Danny, and I can show you the base inside.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a major base. Inside the bases, you never know what they might have. Yes, they have people doing wrong things, but we also can't forget about the white hats. Okay, the people that are watching over, making sure these kids are not like dying, and saving them. And we do have soldiers that are good. And I don't know if Chris can tell you that, but um, maybe a soldier that feels, man, I'm here working, but I have to give this kid more food. I have to find a way to get him out without the other people knowing, or um, oh man, this technology, humanity needs to know about these technologies, So we do have good people that are part of these projects and don't agree on these projects, but if they do anything, their family is doomed, or their loved ones cease to exist. And also they could put you underground if you talk about these um projects or events and all that. I'm not
Take Preston is the example. Preston was one of them, the good ones. Because, like, in my case, because, like, yeah, a lot of people are saying, like, Preston was doing abuse and all. My case, that never happened with Preston. Like, the wildest thing is that, like, at some point, like, I couldn't see my dad because he tried to get me out of the project. And, like, I'm just starting to see my dad. Like, we're gone shopping in the flea market. And who comes in? Like, Preston Nichols. And he starts running after me and, like, Duncan, Duncan, Duncan. And so, like, um, to do this, like, when you're CIA and, like, to go and talk to, like, the parent of, like, a subject, and, like, the guy fucking risked it all to do this, like, um, you got to take this in consideration because, I won't change nothing to him. He's dead. But, like, like, let's give the real facts. Let's stop the bullshit around this story. I'm insulted because, like, uh, fuck,
Chris, you
like,
froze when you were saying something, so I think they're trying to freeze us.
Happens every time that Chris and I get together. And I just want to say to people that Chris and I have done, I think, 3 broadcasts, and there's so much detail and so much information. And this particular one is to bring Laura Eisenhower together with Chris because you've really wanted to connect with her, meet with her. Because
yeah,
she's long-term, very compassionate researcher experience. She herself was also at one point being recruited to go into an off-planet program. Laura, do you want to share some of that information with us?
Yeah, well, I've been targeted, well, pre-targeted before birth is what I heard. When I got together with Andrew Bishago, who was a child participant of Project Pegasus, they said they were talking about me in 1972 before I was born. And so Eisenhower supposedly was briefed that a descendant would come in along with many others that would bring about the truth. And this is what we're all doing. And this is why we've all come together. We all have our different positions and experiences in order to shed light on it, whether we're recovering from something, overcoming something, or whistleblowing. I mean, it's all connected. I mean, I've been targeted most of my life to steer me off course. I wasn't a part of these projects or programs, but my partner, they did sort of a honeypot thing, and they used looking glass technology to locate us from a past life and knew that we were a union, that we had a union, a hierogamic union or sacred union relationship. So they were able to pull him in, this group called the Aviary, connected to individuals that have cover occupations. One in Austin, I believe, a physicist working with zero point energy and remote viewing. This all connects with the Stanford Research Institute. And they're not all necessarily bad, but we're dealing with a lot of compartmentalism and a lot of grooming to where some of these individuals believe that they were doing the right thing, including my partner. So he was having some sort of abduction experiences and what I felt was artificial telepathy that was telling him about our need to go to Mars. And they had brought him in, and my intuition was telling me that he was MyLabbed. This is not a direct connect with an off-planet, guide, which he called the patrons. I started to pick up on this sort of artificial transmission coming through. And he was a person of interest because he had had abduction stories. He had been very exposed to radiation. He was bleeding out of all orifices and trying to heal himself from that. But this aviary group kind of brought him in. And then he was getting this transmission of getting us to Mars, and they propped him up as being, sort of this facilitator of this. And I said, this is all engineered. They set this up, and why are they targeting me? So they used him in the hopes that our bond from previous lifetimes or whatever they were seeing about us coming together in this lifetime, if they could get 2 steps ahead of it, they could use him as bait, have him convince me to go to Mars, and I would not be here to do my mission. So I think they were very wary of me coming in because they knew that I would expose a lot of the false narratives about Eisenhower. They knew that I am devoted to this planetary ascension and understanding the manipulation of the planetary grids, that I was a person of interest because of this mission. And if they could use this individual as bait, it would steer me off course. And this relates to alternative 3, something proposed to the Eisenhower administration, alternatives 1, 2, and 3, that we would need to colonize another planet or go underground in the event of catastrophes. And my intuition kept telling me these are engineered events. They have dark technology that can manipulate storms. They have dark technology that can engineer timelines. Why would we have to run and evacuate this Mother Earth when these technologies need to be called out? So that's what was coming through. And I tried to explain to him that, he was disappearing for days and wouldn't remember. He was being given some kind of instruction over the phone. He would hang up, disappear, come back, not remember. And then he eventually confessed to me after unplugging all the electronics. He said that when I met you, we didn't meet in the organic way. You were a mission, that they set me up to find you, to pull you into this project or this permanent colonization on Mars. And then after he told me that, he plugged everything back in and denied he ever told me. And I thought that I met him in the organic way, and this was just some future thing, like going to the moon. Okay, we might go to Mars. And I didn't realize how secret it was, because he said, you can't tell anybody. This is almost, out of protection to remove you from the planet in the event that these catastrophic events were going to take place. This is to protect you. This is to get you somewhere safe. And that's when I began to see through it. I'm like, well, why is humanity being kept in the dark? Because this is not the times that we're in. Everything needs to come out on the table so that humans know what they're consenting to, voting for, and so that they can see through these engineered events and begin to de-weaponize it, in understanding that we're elemental beings and that our creative imagination is being used to battery up an artificial timeline that requires vampirism and siphoning and mass mind control, social engineering, and manipulation for it to even work. So something wasn't right with him, but they knew they couldn't mind control me or capture me because of my agreements. Not to say that I might not have had those experiences in past lives, but they were able to with him. And they were relying on heart control, that I would be so into this sacred union and this love story with him that I would go anywhere he wanted me to go. And they were hoping that that would be successful. And I was able to see through it, fortunately. And it wasn't until I got out of that I started to meet other whistleblowers. I started to see Project Camelot out there. I started to work with Andrew Pishago and Alfred Lambermont Weber I began to meet experiencers and began to understand the deeper architecture and the deeper layers of this compartmentalism that was actually engineering this timeline instead of it being, something to consent to or agree to. So I could stay on Earth with all of you and bring about the truth. And this is why we all are finding each other, because we all have a similar calling in this, and have had to endure quite a bit in order to, call this out, and also, remember our true self. And to me, that proves that spirit overrides manipulation, and that we can de-weaponize all of this through the strength of our remembrance. And it will require team effort in order to support one another in bringing this forward.
Yeah, beautifully said, and so, so true. And, I'm going to be a little bit controversial here. Oh, well, nothing new. But I honestly believe that most of us are in some kind of program. And if we can't accept it, we need to sit down, because the egos are out of control at the moment. I think for myself, because things I've seen and experienced, ETs, they're real people. They're just people with better technology than us. But I think there are, the military programs, the space programs, the ET alien programs, that some that think they're having these experiences like your former lover did, going to Mars, wasn't really seeing, potentially people that he thought he was. I mean, when you look at people like Max Spears and Jason Casboll and people like that, the things they reported, it all bleeds in together. And this is what I've been discovering lately, how everything dovetails in. So I think that we need to explore the other kind of outlying, concepts or programs, space programs, alien ET programs. It's like when we were in doing the flyover in Colorado, Westminster, Colorado, September 27th, we were told that the TR-3B, the military triangular craft that came out of Cheyenne Mountain, and and then the spacecraft were from the Galactic Federation. But as we know, thanks to JP, there's actual UFO off-planet craft housed in Eglin Air Force Base. So I mean, it's not difficult for an Earth-based group to send up ET terrestrial craft to fly over anywhere. I'm not saying the Galactic Federation weren't there that night. I'm inviting people to broaden their minds and think outside of this container that's trying to keep us all boxed in. And again, with
CIA has a lot.
go
The
ahead.
CIA has a lot of like those prototypes. So like that's gonna come out like I'm pretty sure like soon yeah, we're on the edge of like the real exposure, the disclosure of it,
Yeah.
because there's a limit to what you can contain, and like there's so many mistake done from so many so that to backtrack all of those, like they won't keep up, at some point it has to come out, and I think we're working on it hard there, it's gonna be soon. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Well, listen, I think it'd be a good point to wrap this roundtable up if we're all in agreement. I want to go round for anyone else to say whatever they want to say. I will say that I'm so delighted to be on the screen with the four of you. Laura Eisenhower, my girl, I have missed you a lot. We haven't seen each other for a while. It's beautiful to be back in your energy and connected. And I love the way you talk and the way you unravel the other side of thinking. You're so kind of grounded with the astrology, with your own experiences, with the spirituality, and there's so much of the work that you do. I'd actually forgotten, some of the really higher aspects of you as a being and what you kind of bring. And, I liken you to someone like, to kindly compare David Icke, for example, talking about the copy of Earth that was made, the inversion, the way that you discuss, the false reality that we're in, this false matrix. And like I say, I invite people to imagine up and out further, because, if the solar system is a complete matrix, that would make sense to me at this point. But Laura, let me come to you, and then JP, and then we'll finish with Chris.
Well, it's been wonderful to be here. It's great to see you again, Danny. It's wonderful to meet you, Chris. And JP, I'm so grateful that you encouraged this gathering as well. And I really enjoyed our previous adventures. And I just look forward to collaborating more with all of you and just putting our heads together and spearheading this, truth and rehabilitation and recovery from all that we have, gone through to varying degrees. And I'm an advocate and just for the healing of victims of MK Ultra and these hidden projects. It's my life mission to shed light on this and to be brave enough to hear the stories that you are courageous enough to bring us into and help us to understand, even at the detriment of what you're reliving and facing and all that comes with it. So I appreciate your courage, Chris, so much, and your mission and all that you do, JP, and Danny, your tireless voice and integrity to bring about these wonderful roundtables and events that you do, and the wisdom and psychic work that you've done for so long that carries through to where it is today and the space you've held for us. So much love, everybody.
Yeah, much love to you too.
Thank you, Donnie. You're the best. Chris, nice to meet you for the first time. Laura,
Likewise.
missing you already in the house. The house feels empty without you.
That was so
Yeah,
amazing.
all these things are the beginning of people coming out and talking about what's really going on around the governments underground. And it's all about saving these children that are going through these situations, and also soldiers and civilians as well. It's not just children, it's also adults that are taken and experimented on, and soldiers that are, like you said, Donnie, we're all in a program. We're all in a type of program. I joined the military. I know the military has a lot of different type of programs, but the military for me, it helped me. For other people, it could be the opposite. You know, that's an inconvenience, but it's the truth. But I know that soon disclosure is going to happen, and all we have to do now is share the love, the truth of what's happening, and work together as human beings, and just be together, and not be have a negative mindset. Much love. Akuria mate. I love you. Thank you for this opportunity of being here.
Love you too. Chris?
Yeah, no, I'm honored to do this show with all of you guys, and hopefully we can get the message out, and the truth, people with because I know some of the Montauk boys that are still stuck in jail, and they need our help, we all got set up in 2010, and some weren't as lucky as I was, and some are stuck in jail for life if we don't come out for them, and they. I know those kids from when we were kids, and it's hard on me to see my buddies that should have the nicest chance at life, after all what we went through, that are still stuck in a same danger as and in maximum supermax security and stuff like that. You know, like do your you wake up every day in this, and do your shift in this, but after 15, 20 years, it gets rough on you, and those people are good people that had it hard, and they would be so grateful to have this chance of having a few CIA that comes out, and okay, we all got dropped out through this project, and they tried to erase us. So because no CIA could be charged of any crime. So somehow I'm asking for help from the good guys, because yeah, you don't see them as kids now, but I still see them as kids, and they're still stuck, and we need to help them. So,
Bless your heart. Thank you, Chris. It's a very powerful statement. to make it the end. And just in closing, those that come to my channel, I'm so grateful for you and for your presence, and everything I do here is coming from love. It always was, it always has, and it always will be. There are no enemies here being targeted. There are no attacks. There's no individuation of a singular soul out there that is being focused on in particular. We're all in something. We're all healing something, and we all need to come together, unify, and come together in love. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. We openly admit it. We apologize. You know, we take that seat of grace and gratitude, especially if we are on the front line of disclosure or we've put ourselves there. So that's all I have to say on that. So again, thank you, Laura Eisenhower, JP, Chris Laterreur, and I am Danny Henderson, and I send you love from my heart to yours, and I'll see you buggers soon.